No. So here's what happened. This is not Terence Crawford's fault at all whatsoever. It's not. Terence Crawford, right, agreed to everything. He agreed to everything. Right? And the powers that be, it's just called greed, people. Abu Dhabi, Dubai, wherever, get it done. Because here's the question that I have. What's going to change in 2020? If you had from essentially April, remember, Errol Spence said this. We started planning for this Terence Crawford fight before I even fought Ugas. Remember Errol Spence said that? Remember Errol Spence said that? He said, we started planning for this fight, right? Before I had 6 months. 6 months. 6 months to figure this out. And it still couldn't get resolved?
And those are the words of Blueblood Sports TV as he breaks down the Terence Crawford, Errol Spence debate, whose fault, why didn't it get made, and there you go. And me counterpunching those segments of a live that he shared. You have to agree. I'm glad that a lot of people are starting to wake up, are starting to understand that boxing is being puppeted by certain people that don't care about boxing. They don't care about the fans. They care about their own pockets, and they care about protecting their own pockets. They care about their own power. They care about their own boundaries and what they can do, what they can control, and what they can create. That's plain and simple. See, Terence Crawford was going to be in a situation where they were going to drag him along. They were going to make him at a disadvantage, and they wanted to be control of every possible scenario on how that could go. They wanted him not to fight in 2022. They wanted him to fight maybe in a couple months against Errol Spence. They wanted that because they knew Errol Spence would be the younger, he would be the fresher, and the money involved. They didn't care about the money per se, because if they make, let's say, 11 million, as long as their fighter's going to take 65% of it, the one that he advises, which is Errol Spence, they're good with that. They didn't want other outside people coming in, which is normal. It's a normal protocol. Why do you think Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, or Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk, or Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, and these fights are done? Even look at Deji and Mayweather. Why do you think they're done overseas? Because of the site fees, because of the investments that other people have to make that fight happen. They're going to use their money. Wow. You mean you're going to use your money? All we need to do is fight in your territory? Why not? What did Al Heyman say? No. Why? Because he couldn't control that. It wasn't going to be in his hands. He didn't want anybody to touch it. And it's all about his ego and his control, because he wasn't controlling it. He's like, nope, I don't want other investors. I don't want anything. This is my fight. This is my control. I don't give a shit how much money they're offering. I don't buy it. That's just like what happened with the DAZN deal with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. He did not want Deontay Wilder to take that money because he knew that money wasn't his money. He knew that money wasn't in control of him. He knew he didn't have the big end of the stick. He knew he wasn't in full control. It's easy to understand that. It's just like a guy working and owning his own company, and then someone else says, well, hey, you know what? You can merge with this other company for this big deal. And you say, no, I don't want to deal with them because they're my rivals or my competitors or whatever, and I will not have it. I will stay here. That's pride. on top of greed, on top of egotisticalism, people. Okay? And people, again, they're starting to wake up because Terence Crawford found out, okay, you don't want to take money that someone else wants to put up for me and your fighter, but then yet you want to drag this fight for the next year. What's the angle? The angle is I'm more than likely going to lose because of my activity rate. Errol Spence is younger than me. I'm not 32 years old no more, right? But then yet you want me to wait outside of the ring to wait till you guys figure it out. Meanwhile, you guys surpass and ignore all these beautiful opportunities. Okay? You want to you want to delete the whole idea of a guarantee because it's from another investor. Impossible. And people that's saying, "Oh no, that's good," and I agree with Al Heyman. You're fools. You're biased fools. You're what they call aerosexuals. That's what you are. Because you don't care what makes sense or what don't make sense as long as you're team or pro Errol Spence. And by that notion alone, you're biased. Because had that been anybody else making that fight, you would have been like, yeah, take the money. Let's make the fight. Both guys are happy. Let's see the fight happen. They have no other issues or boundaries or hurdles to jump over. We have nothing to do with that. We have no other problems. Let's see who's the best welterweight in the world, possibly the best fighter in the world. Let's see it happen on top of an undefeated, unification, undisputed. Let's see it. No. Okay? No. That is not what they wanted. And Al Heyman says it's going to build. How the fuck is a fight going to build if it hasn't happened already? It's built to its full potential. And it's deflating right now. I mean deflating. Why? Because people are sick of going around waiting for a fight that they've been wanting to see forever. Terence Crawford has been in the welterweight division since, 2017, 18? He's been there for damn near 5 years. Been waiting on Al Heyman. Now Al Heyman wants to pull the last card out of his ass about Keith Thurman. Nobody gives a shit about Keith Thurman and Errol Spence fighting. I don't care what weight class. They don't care. They wanted that 6 years ago. So what's happening in the sport of boxing? We're not getting these fights we want to see because of certain guys with the power to make these fights not wanting these fights to happen only due to needing some other entity to make it happen. They don't want help. They supposedly don't need help. So they want these in-house fights and sell you this bullshit as long as you buy it. They don't give a shit what it is. They'll give you a pay-per-view every fucking month for people that you don't want to see as long as they don't take a huge risk and you're still buying it. Okay? And how they get you to buy these bullshit fights that nobody wants to see is great. We're going to promise you this other fight, and if it don't happen, oh well. But you bought this bullshit fight because you've seen that fighter wanting to fight another fighter. So guess what? You're going to see that fight simply because he may win or lose. That's the teeth biter. So you're like, okay, great. Let's watch this fight. Let's pay, $29, $39, $49 for this shit, right? Sometimes $75, $79. Right? For this fight that nobody wants to see, and then the fight that you do want to see don't happen. Ha ha! Gotcha! Gotcha, bitch! That's how it is. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of this particular video. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!